Welcome back to Papa Z's Bees. Today we've got kind of an unusual thing that I felt like I needed to share with you. I had a landowner call me and said that he had somebody place some bees out on his property and wanted me to take a look at them and see if we wanted to take them over. So we went over and really just to kind of take a look. We weren't planning on doing much of anything else. Fortunately, we did have our veils and smoker and so on. It's kind of what this was very disheartening to me to find bees that were this dismanaged, unmanaged, and really in terrible shape. So the video quality is not as good. We're portrait instead of landscape mode, and the sound is not very good either. But we'll try to do our best. I'll make this short so you can kind of get an idea of what we're running into. Thanks. Look at this hole. This is how the bees are getting in. They're not using the landing board. They're using holes in the side of, and plus the hives are all falling apart. Just going to look and see what we have. I don't have any idea. It looks like this is being robbed more than anything. I'm not sure there's actually a hive in here. You can kind of tell looks like there has been wax moths in here, and pretty bad shape. I think this is being robbed. I don't think these bees are from this hive, because there's nothing in this hive. You can see the trails from the wax moths in here. There you can see where wax moths have been. It's an awful shape. It's an awful shape. See, there's a wax moth right there. So this is being robbed. We'll try to take this box off so we can see down in it. These have been totally neglected, so there's, actually the boxes are falling apart. There's no telling how long it's been since there's been anything in here. See all sorts of wax moths in here, and again, these bees are just robbing. They're not doing anything but robbing. And you look down in here, there's some big old moths in there. So this box just needs to be put back together. Yeah, it's in bad shape. This is not a hive. This is a robbing station, a feeding station. Now, hopefully you're being robbed by this hive right over here beside us. We'll go to it next. Okay, this one is probably the survivor if it's not being robbed. When I know, we'll just get in there and look at it and see if we find what we find. The boxes are stacked a little bit better here. So this looks like it's a honey super. Waxed comb, nothing in it. Same thing. So there's nothing in this box at all. This is just medium on top here. Can't even get a frame out. They're so hosed up in here. I need to get at least one frame out so I can see what's going on.
Okay, there's some honey in this box, which is good. Yeah, there's some honey, but it's old honey. You can tell because it's black. Okay, that's full of honey right there. Heavy, heavy, heavy. Now, I think I'm seeing some brood in here, so that would lead me to believe that we've got a queen in here. See, some brood right there. Most of the brood should be down in that lower box. This frame out, see what's, yeah, it's in pretty bad shape. But the good news, this is a surviving colony, so if I can get this box off and look down below. More frosted. A lot more frosted, actually. I haven't been looked after in such a long time. Frame is kind of warped. There's pollen in here. I don't know if you can see the pollen. See the glistening honey. There's some honey up here. I would like to see if I can see any more brood because there sure wasn't much. There we go. There's some more brood. There's a emergency cell or a supersedure cell. There's some pollen coming in right there, so that means, you know, it is good. You can see the larvae in here, the big larvae. The problem is I saw them moving in and out, so that kind of worries me a little bit in that they may be really dry. They may not survive. What happens when you have a dearth? Not seeing any young larvae or eggs, so they may be queenless, so they may be doomed as well. Lots of pollen in there, a little bit of honey, very, very little bit of brood. They're bringing in nectar from somewhere and pollen. I'm not seeing queen. They got all the frames I can see. They've got stuff they're bringing in, be it pollen or nectar or whatever. Good. These boxes are really just kind of falling apart. This is a good example of hives that have been neglected. drum, big old drum right there. Yeah, no eggs or larvae in there. More attempts at raw treatments. Didn't even but mess up the hive. We shouldn't have been left on that long. Yeah, see, there's nothing in there. I did not see the queen. Doesn't mean there's not one, but I don't feel very good about there being a queen because there was no young larvae, only old larvae, which means they couldn't make a queen if they wanted to at this point. I'm just going to put it back together and let the owner of the property know. Boy, that's heavy. You can hear them. They're loud. I think this is a good sign of being queenless. They're just so loud. When we got here, this cover was over in the yard. You can see there's all the frames that I looked at were just bad like that. So this one's been dead longer than the one that's being robbed because it's completely robbed out. So again, we'll let the landowner know and figure out what to do from there.
Well, as a beekeeper, that just kind of breaks your heart. You know, we love our bees and we want to take care of them. And when we see where someone has not taken the opportunity to take care of their bees, it really breaks my heart. So if you ever get into a situation of being a beekeeper and you just cannot take care of the bees, please call a beekeeper, call a local beekeeping club, call somebody, and let them come and take care of those bees. The last box we showed was just shredded. Hive, waxworms and so on have been in there and just destroyed it. The first hive we looked at that was being robbed, it was the equipment was falling apart. The second one we looked at, it was so hard to get the frames out of there. They were stuck with propolis or whatever. Again, if you can't take care of hives that you have, please get some help. Well, hopefully the next one will be a little more positive than this one. We appreciate you watching, and come back and see us real soon. Thanks.